All right, guys, we're back. So hopefully you guys will jump right back on and let's see if we can get Tanya Collins on to join us about your sleep hygiene. Again, one of my favorite topics. So as we start to talk about a few tips, please get your paper and pen out so you can actually take some notes and kind of identify where your sleep habits may be neglected or maybe where you're not getting the success you want with the tips and habits that you are using. So as soon as Tanya pops back on here, we will try again to invite her. Dave, you never work. I love that you're always popping on, trying to optimize your health and be better. So it is about sleep hygiene today. Lots of things can disrupt our sleep. Lots of things we do every day can do that. So not only just the TV, electronics, phone, keeping lights on, we also know that it actually takes 3 to 4 hours to digest your food. So if you're eating at 8 o'clock and expecting to go to bed at 9 o'clock, you're not going to have much luck, because what happens when we're sleeping is all of our hormones actually repair. So our cortisol actually dies down at the end of the day. That's why we get tired, and then it starts to go back up past midnight, and that allows our body to wake up when our cortisol gets to a certain level. So thank you guys for joining me. We were unable to actually add Tanya to the last one, so you'll see about a 5-minute replay or before. We're going to try to add her on to this one. So I logged off to log back on, but it is all about your sleep hygiene. How are you sleeping? How are you getting to sleep? How are you waking up? This is one of the first things I talk to my patients about. And again, you don't have to be a doctor to identify if you're not sleeping well. Maybe you have to use prescription medications to get to sleep. So Tanya is on, which is great. Let's have her say hello or hi. I don't even want to tell her. She is in Florida. It was 22 degrees this morning. I did not want to get out of bed. Tanya, it is not letting me add you. It is just saying I have the option to block you. Like, pen, delete. That's not what we want to do. I've never had this happen before. Tanya, what if you use Josh's phone? Is that an option? Let me know. Maybe somebody else has had this problem. I'm clicking on her name to add her. It usually says add to the broadcast, and it's not telling me. It says I can either pin her or delete her or block her, which I don't want to do. Like what she says, and let me try it one more time. Oh my gosh. I would take internet help from somebody. Gosh dog it. Tanya, are you able to try Josh's phone? If he is there with another phone, that is her husband. We have been following through Operation Torrent, but today it is not about Operation Torrent. It is about sleep. All right, we're going to say try now. Yay, bring Tanya to the king adding. Yay! I don't know what she did, but I want to know later. What'd you do?
It worked. I switched to my phone from the computer.
Oh yeah, it won't work on the computer ever. Never.
Well, there I am. I'm a newbie. Sorry.
That's okay. So everybody, I want to welcome Tanya Collins to our broadcast today. Again, most of the time I meet people and they see me and they want to talk about food all the time and recipes, which I absolutely love. But sleep is our secret weapon. It's how our body recovers. It's how our immune system recovers. It's how our hormone recovers. It's how our body actually resets for the day. When we're sleeping, we're actually fasting. So our stomach gets to rest, our hormones get to rest, our blood pressure gets to rest, our kidneys, our bowels, everything gets to rest. But if you're not sleeping, it can disrupt your immune system, your hormone system, your overall brain chemistry, your neurotransmitters. We're not going to talk biology today. So I'm going to jump right into it since I have been talking, waiting for you to join us. So super excited. Tanya is a registered veteran caregiver. She actually teaches sleep hygiene to other people to help their loved ones actually sleep better. You know me, sleep is a secret weapon. So I want to keep it super simple. I kind of went over what happens if we're not sleeping well. It's super simple to identify. If you wake up and your hair is a mess and the pillows on the floor and your blankets everywhere and your dog's on your tummy, you're not sleeping. So teaching other people, what are some of the simple tools? Let me ask you this. How long have you been teaching sleep hygiene?
Only since we've been going through the program with Josh. So probably about 3 years when I first learned about it. And then, so as I go to the caregiver meetings, that's the subject that I always touch on and always try to educate more people about it.
I love it. So I talked a little bit about our circadian rhythm. That's when our hormones reset. The sun comes up, we're supposed to wake up. The sun goes down, we're supposed to lay down, get totally dark. Your body makes melatonin. However, that doesn't happen for everyone. So when you helping someone starting to get their sleep cycle regulated, where do you start? Because there's, I mean, I could list 12 tools right now. So where do you simply start?
Right.
Because again, I meet people where they are and take them where they want to go. So generalized, again, we're just going to ping pong this back and forth. Where is the best or most successful place you start with?
I would say the number one thing to start with is waking up in the morning, because that's where you have to start it, is waking up in the morning and getting the sunlight to your eyes, not through glasses, not through sunglasses, not through the
Not
windows,
checking
but
Facebook?
waking up. No, not checking Facebook, none of that. Go outside between the hours of 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. That is the optimal time to begin this process. And you need no less than 45 minutes in that daytime, in that daylight. Even if it's cloudy, it's okay. That's the optimal time. So go out there for 45 minutes and up to an hour. That's all you need. If you can't do it first thing, if you go to work really early, take a break during that time and get some of that light during the day.
I love that. You know, I'll have moms, instead of going through the drive-through line, park in the parking lot, at least drive your kids or walk your kids up to, you know, a half a block or a block just to get their brains going. So let's just dive in deeply quick here, because that makes sense. We need to get up when the sun's up, quit hitting the snooze, get the light to your brain. Because again, when it's dark, it says make melatonin. When the light's up, it tells our body to start and get going. So, so let's talk about blue light versus amber light, because there's a ton of information all over the internet right now, and talk about some of the negative waves that we actually get from the computer and our phone.
So with blue light, you're going to get, basically that's going to be all of those really bright lights that are coming in when you're at work.
So those are bad.
Fluorescent lights are really bad. The computer's really bad. Your cell phone's bad. The TV is bad. All of this stuff is really bad. So you need natural light as often as possible. So I know that we all know that we have to use our computers, we have to use our cell phones, all that stuff. But you can get filters, blue light filters on your phone. They actually have them for your TVs. So, or your computer screens. So do everything possible. Start researching blue light screens.
Because there are, I'm going to slow down, because this may be a new conversation, people, because we hear like, okay, we have to use our phone, we have to use our computer, but you can buy filter screens just to put over like a screen protector, but there are varying degrees of them, correct? So do you use different ones at different times of day, or different ones depending on the different computers, or how is that differentiate? Because I know if I just Google and go to Amazon blue light computer filters, I'm going to get like 20 pages of stuff, because I did this after we talked the other day, because I know the one, my husband orders it, so I just do it. I don't even know it. But, and the same with the blue blocker glasses. So tell us kind of the difference of the different shades of using them, because some are darker than others. Is there different for phone or computer?
There are going to be different ones for everything that you do. I mean, as far as the screens go, it's going to be set for different times of the day. Now, with your computer, you're not going to want, if you actually put a screen on, you're not going to want to change out your screen constantly. They actually have, for some computers, there are apps that you can download where it will naturally change it throughout the course of the day.
Wow, I love that. I did not know that. So what is amber light then? If blue light is bad that we're getting from all of our electronic stuff, we can use things like salt lamps, you and I talked about, to help kind of absorb some of that magnetic energy or negative energy we're getting. So what is amber light?
So amber light, at night, it doesn't suppress the melatonin, so it helps you fall asleep. So amber light is basically what's going to come through on your phone once it's filtered. So they actually have LED lights that are more amber instead of the bright lights. So if you go to Lowe's, Home Depot, or anywhere, you can switch out your light bulbs so they're not as bright. There's actually a filter on your light.
That's a great thing, because I know a lot of moms. I was talking with Dr. Jamie yesterday about helping make our own natural melatonin. She's got twins that are underneath the age of 4. So sometimes we need to have lights on the house for little kiddos, or if you're like my mom needs to have a light on in the house in case she gets up middle of the night. So you're saying that didn't know this. You could actually buy, I know you can buy big light bulbs, but can you buy night lights that are actually a blue blocker or safe in your house? Wow.
Yes, you can.
I did not know that. So you suggest everybody changing out everything just from the get-go, right?
Yeah, you can, or you can do it a little at a time, because it can be very expensive. They actually, when you say when you say you don't want the blue lights, actually, there are lights you can put around behind your TV. There are lights you can put in your house, and they're actually red. That's the color, because red is going to block out the blue light. So as you start doing a little bit more research as to what you can do to block out this blue light, the blue light is going to, what happens is it suppresses the melatonin, the natural melatonin, and you don't want to do that. So just start doing a little bit more research as to what things that you can do to change that. And again, like I said, there are so many different things that you can do, and it would be very expensive to do it all at once. So just baby steps. And the number one thing that I would recommend starting with is your bedroom.
Yeah, and same thing you just said, like, where do you spend the most time? Like, I'm not on my computer. I'm face-to-face with patients. I minimize that, but I'm definitely on my phone a little bit more than that because I have 4 kids in Facebook Live. So I should probably start there. So we have taken all the lights out of the room because, again, we had salt lamps kept up and people are not sleeping better, and they thought it was going to help and didn't help. And then people have bought blue blocker glasses that are too strong, which make their eyes dilate, and then they get a headache. So you definitely, I think, need to go slow and steady to win that race. But you're absolutely right, because that melatonin is produced in the absence of darkness. However, we do need to have light sometime in the house, or you guys are in Florida, lots of sun there. It was 22 degrees this morning. Did you hear that? I see you have a sunburn, so I'm a little jealous from that.
I had a little fun today. It was a little windy too. So
how long does it usually take for you to have people actually sharing that they're getting some type of circadian rhythm, getting their normal sleep pattern back up, that they can actually start to wake up by themselves instead of trying, rolling out of bed half asleep or half awake? How long does that usually take?
Well, Josh and I personally went through this when we were out in California, and we were out there for 30 days. And I would say that it probably took us, and it's a habit. You have to develop a habit with anything. But I would say that with us going through the routine, and there's a little more to it, but once we started this whole routine, it probably took us about a week to really notice a difference.
Awesome.
And now we can't stay awake past 9 or 9:30. That's why I miss a lot of your lives.
No, different coast.
Because of the time difference. Yeah, and so I fall asleep, and I apologize. So, and the other part of that, there's the waking up, but you have to reset that circadian rhythm. You have to set the bedtime as close to 9 o'clock at night as you can. Giving 10 minutes here or there, but you have to develop that and to reset it. To get your body to start producing the natural melatonin, you really have to do that and make that your goal, because you want to get optimal sleep. And for optimal sleep, whether you have a brain injury or for any other health reasons, you've got to have the sleep, because that's when your body is going to heal the most.
Yeah, and it's free to wake up on time, guys. You don't have to spend a single penny. And we found is we actually have the blue blocker glasses, because that's one thing you can buy versus buying all the screens on everything. So about 7:30 or 8:15, whenever Dr. Ralph gets home from the office and the gym, he'll put those glasses on. He used to start an hour before bedtime. Now, the minute that he gets close, because we have natural sun in the office, he'll start putting the glasses on. It's made a huge difference. And you can get them fairly economical. What are some of the other things I'm going to push? Because, essential oils are a big thing for people to use, or Epsom salt baths. So I love it that sleep needs to be a habit. We're kiddos, we put them to bed on time. As adults, we get caught up in our Netflix, caught up in social media, caught up in reading books. So we talked a little bit about that. So you're a fan of actually reading before you go to bed, right?
I like to read before I go to bed, but the one thing that you have to do is make sure that when you do go to bed, you really need to cut all of this stuff off.
So no Kindle, right? No Kindle, real books, like behind on the shelves, real books.
That's hard. Yeah, that's hard, but you really need to start winding everything down. Generally, a couple of hours, as you can, if you can, a couple of hours before you go to bed, but definitely 1 hour before you go to bed. And if you wake up at night, you have to, you should not lay in bed awake more than 10 minutes. If you wake up, you have to get up, walk around, go drink a glass of almond milk or something. Some people will do a sleepy time tea, whatever, but almond milk is really a good thing to settle you in, and also you won't be jumping up and running to the bathroom like some with the tea. But definitely don't lay in bed and roll around if you're not going to fall asleep after 10 minutes. But I would say don't wake up, don't turn the TV on, don't start reading. If you don't have a TV in your room, that's even better because you should never lay in bed and watch TV. But having a cool room, the setting of the
That's
bed,
perfect.
but when you go to bed is the best. Make sure that you set your temperature to really cool at night, to almost where you have to get under the
So
covers.
not 22 degrees like my house, but so is that 60? Is it 65? Is it 72? I mean, what's cool for the
It's
standards?
whatever is right, exactly. It's up to each individual. So it's always good at whatever's comfortable for you during the day, at least 5 degrees cooler at night,
I love
because you
that.
don't want to wake up hot. So I would say that, but you'll kind of get to you'll figure out what's more comfortable for you. You want to be cool no matter what it is. Even cooler is better.
And I,
So I would say that, and definitely complete darkness is best. If you're a clock watcher, bury the clock somewhere else. Don't watch the clock anywhere. Keep your phone away from your bed, far away from your bed, because you get little pings, they light up, they
I,
do all this crazy stuff, and it will make you wake
yeah.
up.
So I'm getting a lot of questions. So Joan, or Tanya, with your permission, I'm just going to write these tips down that you said on my Ask Dr. Heather blog, and I'll push it out with some of those, the posters and stuff that you sent me via email, so people can just start super simple. So number one, just get your bum out of bed. I did say that. Get your bum out of bed.
Yeah.
And after a week, you should start noticing that, and then set that bedtime habit. Laundry can wait. Dishes can wait. You know, the problem is when you're a teenage mom, you're waiting up for your kiddos, but wait up with a book. Don't wait up with a TV or things like that. Get the Kindle away, because I know I call it my mom. She loves to read on her Kindle. If she can't sleep, she likes to play all those little games that are word games, are great for your head, but those are really not doing for your body. And, you know, I took a poll one time. We had about 2,000 people in the room. I said, stand up if you are not sleeping great, like trouble getting to sleep, having to take something to sleep, or waking up. Half the room stood up. So more than 50% of Americans are not sleeping. And probably it's true globally. But I love what you said about the chamomile tea. I was sharing with a patient this morning. I used to put the chamomile tea in the bathtub for the kids. So I just put the tea in there, and then we have acupuncture points on top of our head. I just put the moist tea there, I put the moist tea bag here. So we've definitely used that sleepy time tea and chamomile tea. But I did find that, you know, when people started using essential oil lamps and salt lamps, you brought the light back into the room, which again, used during the day to help balance that out. So, what have we not missed that we kind of talked about? Because I think the temperature thing was big. I had forgotten we discussed that. So hopefully this is giving you guys some good nuggets to get your sleep pattern set. Get your alarm set at like 9 o'clock. Set it on your phone, and you know you're done for the day no matter what happens. If you have to wait up for your kiddos, then do that, but start slowly changing. So bedroom first, computers and phones next. What would you do after that?
Well, bedrooms, I don't know. I would just say one step at a time, and not napping. Don't take a nap. Stop napping during the day, because a lot of us, we think, okay, well, I only slept 6 hours last night, so I probably should take a nap. Well, maybe your body only requires 6 hours, and that's okay. Not everybody needs 8 hours of sleep, or we definitely don't need 10 hours
Right.
probably, but some people may require 10 hours. Everyone is different. Listen to your body.
That's absolutely true. I know the National Health Institute says no less than 7 and more than 9, because they know people are flopping and getting up and not getting right to bed the minute they lay down. So Stanley's asking, well, what is your advice? I've got a few nuggets, but what's your advice for someone who works the swing shift? Because that's very common of retail and doctors and, I mean, police officers and firemen and military. So what is your big ticket for helping people get back on? Do they just stay awake once they get home, or they go to bed, or what's the best thing you found?
Right. So I think that, for someone who works a different shift, if you're on that shift for a while, stay on that shift. Definitely have blackout curtains. We have those now, because it helps us from waking up at the crack of dawn, because sometimes you just never know. But
I'm
have
taking
blackout
notes.
curtains for sure. Yeah, exactly. Have your blackout curtains. Again, do the temperature stuff. When you come home, keep your exercise. Maybe go to the gym, and then, if you have to take a nap, if you're trying to adjust to going back to sleep, maybe take a quick power nap. Don't sleep all day. Go to the gym early. Don't go to the gym late. You should never go to the gym really late at night.
Very true. Get your
And then
cortisol
you'll
level up.
start.
So,
Exactly.
so
You're not going to sleep with
right.
that.
So power nap, is that 15, 20 minutes, 10, 30 or less, 15 or less?
20 or less.
Okay, that's exactly what I've heard too. 15 to 20 minutes. If you're not asleep and wake up at that 20-minute cycle, you know, and so tell us what the signs are that you're actually sleeping really well and deep, because there are lots of great signs. Like, again, people can wake up for a multitude of reasons, you know, with head injuries or hormonal sweats, whether you're male or female, or dogs or cats or babies or teenagers. So what's the signs that you actually are starting to get to sleep better and getting that better healthful rest that we need for our immune system, for our hormone balancing, and for our brain health?
Well, the way that you can really tell is one, you wake up and your hair is not a mess.
And if you don't have
That's
hair,
the number one way that I can tell that I've slept well.
And if you're a male and you don't have hair, then what would be your
right? Then you won't be able to tell, right? So another way is you're able to think a little bit more clear. So you don't have that kind of brain fog going on. You're not tired during the day. So overall, you just feel so much better. So I think you're going to really notice a big difference. And then you'll notice at night when it's time for bed, when 8 o'clock starts rolling around, you're going to start getting tired once everything is starting to adjust, once your system is starting to adjust.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll see those hot flashes start to go away, or people, you know, getting up, that tossing and turning, because once you're there, dreaming is actually another great sign that you're actually getting that delta and theta sleep that you need. If you're having trouble sleeping, there's lots of testing and stuff you can do. I'll post some information down below. You can do some EEGs, EKGs, but honestly, start with the tips that Tanya has shared that are super simple. I know a lot of us are guilty of like hitting the snooze one more time, or say, you know what, I know I need to hit the snooze. So I know people that set their alarm 30 minutes early because they know they can't get out of bed. So like, get up, get moving, drink that 12 to 16 ounces of water before you get going. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining you. Tanya, I don't have much else. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go through and I'll make bullet notes on each time of this, and then I'll post it on YouTube, and we'll put it on the Ask Dr. Heather blog so everyone can watch there and revisit those tips. Because I know you guys, I was simply, and I teach sleep all the time. I was taking, you can't see that, I was taking notes the whole time she was talking, and I even knew she was going to talk. So watch it again, take some great notes, start very simple. Again, it's free to get out of bed. It's free to start to go to sleep. It's free to take a bath. You have to drink milk anyway, or almond milk. I'm not cow's milk person, but those things are great. The teas are great as well. So I want to thank you for your time and your expertise. And if you think of other stuff later, we'll check questions and see what people have, because I know some people in the Midwest are still at work. So if you're watching on a replay, drop us down a moon sign. I will retitle this video because I just want to jump back on. So I want to thank you for hopping on today. Super fun to have you here. Sleep, again, is our secret weapon that we often mistreat and we abuse. And I love the word sleep hygiene. So I'm actually going to steal that from her and call that sleep hygiene. And I'll summarize our notes. So if you think of something else, just drop it down below, pop on down below, and hopefully we get people sleeping better, because that is so important. Next week is Brain Health Awareness Week. So we're going to bring lots of nuggets for the next week about how you can help heal your brain. Tanya's husband has been our Delta Force operator, retired veteran Josh Collins, that we have been following the last several weeks. So she has been through many traumatic brain injuries with him and recovery, and knows how important it is. So we really appreciate you coming on, bringing all your experience. I don't have any family members with a TBI. I have patients, but that's totally different than living with somebody 24/7. And it doesn't just have to be a concussion or a brain injury. It can be hypermania. Thyroid out of balance can cause sleep. You can be metabolically toxic. You can be low magnesium, low vitamin D, low calcium. There's so many things that can cause your body to actually not sleep the way you should. So if you try these tips and you clean your house up over the next, 21 days and you're still not sleeping, then I would encourage you to get with your healthcare provider. Check your vitamin D level. It should be 60 to 80 optimally. And check your magnesium level. It should be above 2.2. Your thyroid regulates your body. It should be 1.8 to 3.0 on your TSH. So those things also can cause that to be out of balance. A high carbohydrate diet will cause you to have night sweats. So a glass of wine, bowl of ice cream, bowl of popcorn can actually be causing you not to sleep. So reduce your eating time. So we talked about 6 o'clock if we're going to try to go to bed at 9, so we get our nervous system relaxed. And then again, thank you for being here today. If I missed something, shout it out. Otherwise, I am good to go back and take notes.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you for joining us. So if you guys want to follow along, I think Tanya's got some great information to share. You're fine if people friend you.
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
Absolutely. So go be her friend if you want to be her friend. Don't be creepy. It always sounds weird, but hopefully we'll be meeting soon and getting some more information. I was going to run downstairs and get my blue blockers, but it didn't happen. can't run downstairs. So I didn't get those. I was going to bring them up, but I love that. If you guys find things that you're using, please drop your links down below. If you found something online that really works, I'm going to post those pictures that you had shared with me just to talk a little bit more about circadian rhythm and how important sleep is. So thank you again. You guys have an amazing day, and God bless as always. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.